Gray, big evening for you. What's on your mind right now?
Great honor, and love the state of California, and thrilled that they selected me. And it's a good night. I got my mom here. I grew up in Denver, so she traveled out from Denver, and she's 88 years old. So got my brother and my wife, and a lot of people who I've had the chance to cover over the years. So
to be able to share an evening and a room with some of the athletes you've covered, give me a little bit of that perspective.
So it's going to be a great pleasure and an honor, really, to be able to be in the same breath, in the same sentence, at least on this evening, with Barry Bonds and Marcus Johnson and Dr. Buss. Dr. Buss was very critical to my growth as a sportscaster. When I was a very young man, he treated me with tremendous dignity and respect and courtesy, and I've never forgotten how great he was to me and how important he has been in my career.
All right, standing alongside one of the many men being honored this evening, and when I say many, that's a relative term. Barry, congratulations and welcome to the California Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you. It's an honor. It's really nice.
When you got the call that you had been inducted, what went through your mind?
My family, my kids, my career, go back in time, think about the journey. You know, that's pretty much it. I go, wow, you know, start as a little boy. All I want to do is play with my friends outside, and I just decided to play baseball and start thinking you're thankful for a lot of different things, a lot of different journeys through your life that you really appreciate.
Championships at Crenshaw High School, championship at UCLA, playing for John Wooden. I'm in California. What can I say? Cali. I'm a Cali guy, and a lot of people around the country are kind of envious of that, even on the down low, but I make no bones about it. I'm a Cali guy all the way, and I just love the support I've received here.
Talk about the vision of Christian Okoye and putting on an event like this.
Yeah, you know, I'm just really, really grateful to Christian Okoye for this California Hall of Fame, and he's the guy that has been spearheading it for a number of years now, and I'm just, again, honored to be a part of it this year.
Welcome to the 2019 California Sports Hall of Fame.
Christian, thank you. Thank you for including me. Thank you for inducting me into this wonderful fraternity. And as I was growing up, my mom would always say, whatever you do, just be the best. Just work the hardest, be the best. If you're a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper. I'm not the best sportscaster. I might be the luckiest, but I'm not the best. But I know this, I've worked very hard. And the best part of this night is that on this night, my parents, who are no longer with me, would be very proud. So I thank all of you, and I thank Christian. Thank you.
Fred, let me present you with your plaque. This is a thrill for me to be presenting Fred Rogan. I work at Channel 11, Fred at Channel 4.
For induction into the California Sports Hall of Fame, the all-time home run king, Barry Bonds.
This is an awesome honor for me, and Christian, thank you very, very much for this. Being a California native and now having the opportunity to be in the California Sports Hall of Fame is pretty impressive, and having Willie and my dad as my mentors and idols was unbelievable. So I got to fulfill the biggest dream I did, because I actually really got the opportunity to play with them in my own, dream. So my father played right field for the San Francisco Giants. My godfather played center field for the San Francisco Giants. And I completed our family circle and played left field for the San Francisco Giants. So thank you for this, Christian. I really appreciate it. And this is a great evening. And Jim, you know I love you to death. We've been boys forever, so it's always good to see you too, buddy.
You said your mom's your best friend. And you told a story once about how she took you to play, maybe it was Little League or something, and you didn't want to play baseball.
No, I wanted to ride big wheels with my friends and skateboard down the hill. I grew up in St. Carlos, which was a sport town, but I was like any other kid. I wanted to go with my big wheel, and we wanted to go rope swinging and cardboard sliding down the hill, and my mom's like, I'm gonna take you guys over to play baseball. And, I didn't want to go. And my mom said, well, you going? And I went. That's how my career started.
And so I'm just standing here today to tell you that I am so grateful, so honored This class of excellence is just something to be proud to be a part of for me, and for Christian Okoye and you people to come up with this Hall of Fame is just a tremendous honor for me. And the fact that I'm here on this stage now, being honored by the California Hall of Fame, means so much to me. And again, I just want to thank you. And there was 4.8 seconds left, and UCLA had the ball down 1. And you inbound the ball to Ty Sedney. He makes this full court sprint. And the most spectacular thing he did was go full speed at midcourt, behind his back, left to right, to change directions. And he got to the hoop, outstretched over a big 7-footer, banked it in at the buzzer. And I got so excited, I just started saying, "Yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby," about 20 times. I totally usurped my partner's airtime on that call, which I kind of regret, but no, I don't really. But it was one of the most exciting moments of my life. UCLA went on to beat UConn in the regional final, and then went on to win a national championship.
I'm very humbled and I'm honored to be here tonight. Really appreciate you guys letting my father be a part of this fraternity. It means a lot to me and to my family. It really does. Thank you to Mr. Okoye. And as a former receiver myself, you know, I got excited to talk to him, and I said to him, I can only imagine how intimidating it would be for a wide receiver to look across the line of scrimmage and see Mike Haynes in man coverage with Ronnie Lott helping over the top. Man, that would be intimidating. And Mike Haynes and Ronnie, they chuckled. He laughed for a second, and Mike looks at me and he goes, "You'd have no chance, son." And then Mike smiled and he looked off into the sky as he was thinking, and he goes, "But your dad would find a way." He said, even if we knew what route he was running, he would change direction mid-play to find the hole, and he would expect Plunkett to know where he was going. And I'll be darned if Jim Plunkett always seemed to know where he was going. He always seemed to find a way. And that was what my dad was about. He wasn't the fastest guy, and he wasn't the strongest guy, but he always seemed to find a way. And oftentimes he was the smartest guy on the field. Oftentimes he was the hardest worker. I'm extremely grateful for both my parents. I'm thankful to all you guys for being here, for letting him be a part of this, for letting me come up here and tell you a little bit about my dad, who's so special to me. And if you can take anything from this, it's just try to be a little bit better to the people around you, make their lives a little bit better. Thank you to the California Sports Hall of Fame for letting us be here. Thank you to Mr. Okoye, and God bless.
If you could tell me one story about your dad, the story that you take with you everywhere, the way you see your father, the way you feel your father in your heart, what's that story?
Oh man, you guys should have prepped me for these questions. There's so many great stories about my father. I'll tell you, something that was neat for me was we went to another banquet, as I've talked about, and Snoop Dogg was there. And as a kid, you know, I grew up in the 90s, and Snoop Dogg was the coolest guy that's ever lived, right? He just walked around and he was smooth, and everything he said was cool, and I was like, you know, and Snoop Dogg was at this banquet, and I'm with my dad and my family, and I'm like, oh, can we meet Snoop Dogg? Can we meet Snoop Dogg? And you know, as you get older, your parents are less cool, right? Snoop Dogg starts walking towards us, and he grabs his cousin, and he starts shaking him like a little kid. He goes, "Do you know who that is?" And he said, "That's the OG 4-6, and I don't mean the defense." And nobody knew what he said except for me. I knew what he meant. He was talking about in reference to Buddy Ryan's 4-6 defense. He goes, it's the OG 4-6, and I don't mean the defense. And I said, Snoop Dogg's excited to see my dad? My dad must be pretty cool. And I remember that, and it stuck with me, and it stuck with our family. Snoop Dogg was excited to meet my dad, and that was a neat thing. He took a picture with the family, and that's forever stuck with us.
I'm honored to stand here tonight as Jim Gray's friend and present him into this year's California Sports Hall of Fame. Jim Gray, we love you very much. I love Jim Gray.
Christian Okoye, thank you so much for including me and for picking me to receive this special recognition and honor. I grew up in Denver, Colorado, but I have spent my entire adult life virtually here in the Golden State. I'm honored to be a resident of this state. It's the greatest place in the world. No one in television does anything by themselves. I've had so many great colleagues and broadcasters that I've worked with, and I owe an awful lot to a ton of directors and producers and graphics folks, and I just wanted to be on the team, and it's my teammates really who have lifted me to this moment. I want to thank all the terrific camera women, cameramen, graphics people, makeup artists, if you can work with this, you can work with anything. This evening and this honor has touched me in a way that's indescribable. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart, as my journey in sports broadcasting really has been, in reality, much, much more than anything I could have ever dreamed. Thank you all.
So we have to ask the questions people don't ask, or people want to know, but other reporters don't have the skill or ability to ask, or they're just afraid. How do you ask those kind of tough questions? You're the first to ask. What does it take? Is it courage? What does it take?
I think it takes natural curiosity and to approach it in a way that's not malicious or mean-spirited. And whatever goes on the field should be fair game. What goes on off the field, and only if it affects what happens in the game, shouldn't be in our purview, okay? So if a guy who's being asked, or a gal, something that has happened on the field of play, if they can't take a question from me, how are they going to face their opponents? It's just a question, and we all saw it, so it's just a natural curiosity. It's what you would think at home. It's what everybody watching wants to know. So I don't think that takes a lot of courage. I just think it takes common sense.
I just want to say thank you all for coming tonight, and your continuous support for this organization is, it's a blessing. We're going to continue to grow because of you. Thank you all for your motivation. Thank you for your blessing, and God bless you all. Have a good evening.